I hope everyone can see.
Yeah.
So Navneet,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. So friends, today I'm going to talk about telemedicine, the practical aspect. Next. This talk is based on Appendix 5 of the Indian Medical Council Professional Conduct, Etiquette and Ethics Regulation 2002 Act. As you know, Medical Council Act, this Ethics Committee had four appendices only. This fifth appendix has been added recently only. This is Telemedicine Practice Guidelines, and this was released on 5th March 2020 by Board of Governors in supersession of the Medical Council of India. As you all know, Medical Council has been dissolved in the past, and at the moment the work is being looked after by a Board of Governors. These guidelines have been prepared in partnership with Niti Aayog. Government, you see that on 24th, the lockdown was imposed, and MCI, of the Board of Governors, sent a letter to government, and on 24th itself, the Health Ministry passed these guidelines, which were, I believe, were prepared a year or two ago, but were never released. And we doctors have been demanding legality of telemedicine earlier, but it was not legal till now. But on 24th, the Health Ministry allowed it, and on 25th, it was published as Appendix 5. Next. So what is telemedicine? The delivery of healthcare services where distance is a critical factor by all healthcare professionals using information and communication technologies for the exchange of valid information for diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of disease and injuries, and evaluation, and for the continuing education of
minute hold करना.
Yeah.
दीपक, अपना माइक्रोफोन ऑफ कर दो, माइक को म्यूट कर दो.
हाँ नवनीत, अभी सबका म्यूट करके रख सकते हैं, और जब किसी कोई हैंड रेज करेगा,
नवनीत बाकी सब लोगों का माइक म्यूट कर दो,
सबको म्यूट कर दो, और जब हैंड रेज कोई करेगा तो उसको अनम्यूट कर लेना.
हाँ.
So this is a quite comprehensive and a long definition, but what we are doing today is also telemedicine, because it is continuing education program. We are discussing about something which is for the benefit of the individuals, health of individuals and communities. Next please. Yeah, what are the benefits? Next, timely access to appropriate interventions. That means telemedicine helps in timely doing things timely, because the patient comes to your OPD, he sits in the waiting for some time, and then you see him, you write some investigations, he goes and gets the investigation done. By the time he comes back, you are not sitting, and he comes back next day. So precious time is lost, especially in emergencies, and if the patient is having severe pain or hematuria or something. Next. Other than time, another important thing is access to services that may not be otherwise available. Given the large geographical distances and limited resources of our country, patients are rural, poor, they may not be able to reach to big hospitals. Everybody cannot reach AIIMS or Sanjay Gandhi. And if the doctors of these institutes are available for telemedicine, the patient can be benefited. Next, please. Yeah, next. Yeah. And other than saving of time, saving of cost and effort, and it also reduces the inconvenience to the family. In our country, you see, a patient comes with 2-3 more family members. They are spending time, money, and they may have to take leave. The patient is sick, he may be on leave, but the attendant is not on leave. He has to take leave and manage so many things. So if telemedicine is allowed, the patient can get benefited sitting at home. Next. Maintenance of records and documentation is easy. Next. Legal protection of both parties, the patient and the doctor, both are legally more sound because they have all the records, what was said and what was done. Next. It also provides patients and doctors safety, especially in contagious infections. Patient is not sitting in front of you if he is having some infection, and this is very pertinent in today's scenario. The patient is sitting at his home, he is safe, you are safe, he is safe from problems on the road. He may not have an accident, he may not catch cold, or he may not catch heat stroke. All those problems will be omitted if we can sit at home and consult. Next. What are the tools? We can use mobile phones or landline phones, chat platforms. Some apps are there and other data transmission systems. Next. It can be in the form of video, audio, or text based. You can have SMS or you can have asynchronous communication like emails. The patient has sent you a fax or mailed you and you are replying at your leisure. Next. The guidelines recognize 7 elements. These 7 elements have to be considered before a telemedicine consultation is done. I'll talk about them in detail, but the list is
Hello?
You there, sir?
Navneet ji, we cannot hear him.
Here.
We can't hear Anurag.
And seems to be frozen.
Perhaps his internet has gone.
Acha, net connection. He's using his phone.
Yeah.
Anurag?
Yeah, I don't know if it was it from my part. It was I was offline.
Acha, okay.
Now can you see? Now can you see again? You
Carry
can
on,
read.
carry on.
Yeah, we can see. No problem, sir.
I can see you. Yes.
So after the these 7 elements are satisfied, the patient management starts. Next. I think it is slow. Yeah. The context is that you have to exercise your professional judgment whether the patient can be dealt with telemedicine. And identification, you have to identify and verify. Yeah. So in the context, come on, just hold. Yeah. You have to identify the patient by name and age. And in the physical consultation also, we have not been doing this very seriously till now. But we write down whatever the patient says, whatever name he says. And in the past, we all know that patients have, you know, they've changed their name, they have got a prescription in somebody else's name and showed that for something else, for leave or for legal things on court. In court, they have shown that I was attending this doctor. They have forged documents, and even in hospitals, they have admitted in different names. And I remember a patient, a man who had some army facility, and he got his sister operated by me, uh, registering her as the wife. As you know, the sister is not allowed, but the wife and children are allowed. So that man, I came to know later that the patient of mine whom I operated was the sister of that man, and this has happened in the past. Even insurance, if people have claimed insurance by the wrong names, but at present we are quite very strict about that, just because of Aadhaar or other IDs. So you have to identify the patient. Next. The patient has to verify your credentials and your contact details. He has all the rights to know if he's talking to the right doctor. Next. Teleconsultation of child is allowed only when a major is, an adult is sitting with him, and adult has to be identified. Next. Multiple technologies can be used. Next. Now, patient consent is very important. Consent can be implied or explicit. Next. If the patient initiates the telemedicine consultation, then the consent is implied. Next. An explicit consent is needed if doctor initiates a telemedicine consultation. Next. And this explicit consent is to be recorded in any form. The patient has to send a mail or write a text that he wants to take your help. Now, consultations are of two types. First consultation, this is when the patient is consulting you for the first time, or the patient has consulted you earlier, but more than 6 months ago. Or the patient is consulted you earlier, but for a different health condition. Next. It can be a follow-up consultation because drugs that are allowed to be written are different for first consultation or follow-up consultation. So we have to discriminate whether it is a follow-up consultation or first consultation. The patient is consulting with the same doctor within 6 months, so this is a follow-up consultation for the same health problem. But however, it will not be considered a follow-up if there are new symptoms or new problems, or the doctor does not recall the context of previous treatment. Next. So then we come to patient evaluation. We have to take history and we have to get examination findings. Of course, we cannot touch the patient. We cannot see exactly, but we can see pictures. The patient can show where is the swelling. The patient can show where is the injury. He can show the limitations of his neck movements or leg movements. Then the reports and the records are to be seen. If the information received thus is inadequate, then you have to request for additional information, like some tests. In such instances, the consult may be considered paused and can be resumed at a rescheduled time. You may provide health education at any time. If a physical examination is critical information for consultation, you should not proceed until a physical examination can be arranged. Can be arranged means somebody can examine and inform you in proxy. Some healthcare worker or some other doctor can tell you what is there. Next. Next slide, please. I think it is again gone offline. Am I audible? I don't know if somebody can reply.
चेंज हो गई सर, चेंज कर दी स्लाइड.
चेंज हो गई थी मेरे पास.
Slide changed.
Yeah, ठीक. Now the patient management comes, and this is health education, counseling, and medication. So if the condition can be appropriately managed via telemedicine, then only you proceed to prescribe medicine. Otherwise, educating the patient, counseling, reassurance, and all these things can be done. Next. Now, there are certain categories of medicines which are allowed to be prescribed. List O is the list of medicines which are safe to be prescribed through any mode of teleconsultation. So you may be just talking to a patient on phone, or you may be just texting, or it may be a video consultation. You can prescribe such medicines. These are medicines which are for common use and are often available over the counter, like paracetamol or diarrhea medicines, or cough and cold medicines, supplements like iron, folic acid, vitamin D, things like that. Medicines that may be deemed necessary during public health emergencies, like the present one, but sadly we do not have any medicines for the present emergency. Cholera, malarial outbreak. At that time, you can write medicines in list O. Next. Then the government has made a list A, which is a list of medicine which can be prescribed during the first consult, and which has to be a video consult. So if you're consulting the patient first time and on video, then you can prescribe such medicines. These medicines are mainly local applications like ointments or eye drops, ear drops, or these are the medicines which are prescribed on follow-up as a refill. So the patient was on the same medicine when he showed you, and on a teleconsultation, you allow him or you prescribe the same medicine for another period of a few days. Then this is list A medicine, which was already prescribed. Next. List B medicines are medicines which are followed up by the consultation, in addition to those which have been prescribed during in-person consult. I mean, these medicines were never prescribed earlier, but can be prescribed now as add-on if the patient is not controlled on the previous medicines. These are for diseases like diabetes. If the patient is not controlled on one, you can add another anti-diabetic medicine. Similarly, our medicines also, because everywhere it is written, etc., etc., etc. So we can, it's not that these medicines are named by the government, but this is just guideline, and further guidelines are likely to come. Next. But there is a prohibited list like scheduled X drugs and narcotics and psychotropic medicines. Next. So we have to maintain digital trail of consultation. You have to keep a record, a log of what interactions were done with the patient. Patient reports and documents have to be saved. They are automatically saved if you are doing a teleconsultation. In case a prescription is shared with the patient, the doctor is required to maintain the prescription records. Next. An emergency consultation can be done, and it may be the only way for timely help. The doctor may provide consultation to their best judgment. They'll not be, asked why did you do this. But this should be avoided when alternative in-person care is available. If a doctor is available nearby, then you should not give your opinion. Should be limited to first aid, life-saving measures, counseling, and referral. And patient must be advised for in-person interaction with the doctor at the earliest. So in case of emergency, you can just ask the patient to go to a doctor. Next. Now, what can be labeled as a misconduct? If you insist on telemedicine and the patient is willing to travel to a facility or requests an in-person consultation, but you say, no, please don't come, you take this is a misconduct. Next. Misusing patient images and data, like everywhere, this is a misconduct. Next. Prescribing medicines from the specific restricted list, prohibited list. Next. Soliciting patients for telemedicine through any advertisements, and the penalties are just common penalties for Indian Medical Council Act. Next. So fee, if you are consulting, whatever we have been doing in the past was telemedicine. We have always been consulting our patients, but that was unofficial, that was illegal, and people have been sued for giving advice on WhatsApp. But now, since 25th March, this has been legalized. So in the past, we have been giving opinion, but we were not charging any fee. But now, since it is legalized, we can charge fee also. So telemedicine consultation should be treated same way as in-person consultation from a fee perspective. Next. Doctor may charge an appropriate fee. Next. You provide photo, scan, or digital copy of a signed prescription. So what I'm doing is I'm writing a prescription here on my same prescription pad and just sending that by WhatsApp. Or an e-prescription. In the times to come, I'll plan some kind of app which will generate an e-prescription. Next. Doctor should also give a receipt or invoice for the fee charge. Next. Now, what government has in mind? An online program will be developed and made available by the Board of Governors in supervision of Medical Council. Next. All registered medical practitioners intending to provide online consultation need to complete a mandatory online course within 3 years of its notification. Next. In the interim period, that is for now, the principles mentioned in these guidelines need to be followed. Next. Thereafter, undergoing and qualifying such a course will be essential prior to practice of telemedicine. Next. So we can all practice telemedicine for the time being until course is announced by the government, and that course has to be qualified, and then we'll be telemedicine consultants. The doctor will not be held responsible for breach of confidentiality, because that is one concern. Patient has sent you some photograph or some details or some Aadhaar card, and that is leaked. So doctor is not responsible if it is proved that it is not because of your fault, because online platforms, everything can be shared. Next. government has planned, next please, has given a sample prescription also, which is just like our regular prescriptions. Do we see next slide? Yeah, this is sample prescription. It's like a common prescription that we all write. You have to write age and everything, the symptoms and everything. At the moment, many doctors are not writing the diagnosis of provisional diagnosis. You must write a provisional diagnosis, and the government insists on writing generic medicines. Next. Now, after all this government guidelines, what can be practically done and what I am doing? I am here in front of you because I think I am a little bit started doing telemedicine. So what I'm doing at present, I entertain all queries. So since we are not seeing routine OPDs, so patients are inquiring. So I entertain all queries myself. Next. I give them one WhatsApp number. And on the right side, you see is the DP of that WhatsApp number so that the patient can identify me and he can recognize I'm the same doctor. And this is yellow one is the board that is in front of my clinic. Then there's a click from my prescription pad, which writes down about my degrees and the registration numbers. I have MBBS. Yeah, all of you have registered your additional degrees with the MCI. Next. So on receiving the patient's message, I send that next. A pre-designed initial message to the patient. I'll show you that pre-designed initial message in a moment. So on receiving patient's request about his problem, I send this pre-designed initial message. Next. And this message demands fee also. Next. And demands all records of the patient, whatever is taking right now, and his ID, Aadhaar card. Next. And then I ask them to write down his problems on a paper and take a picture. Because he keeps on talking on phone, you may not be able to understand. He may write in WhatsApp in Roman, which is absolutely wrong. He may write in English, wrong spelling, everything. So I just ask him to write on a piece of paper and then send it. Send the picture. Next. Next. Then I continue to chat. Next. And then I write generic medicines. Next. I can also send some saved files of counseling and patient education material, including some videos that I have on my phone. Next. And then I send a receipt of payment with thanks by forwarding the SMS receipt from my bank that the money has come. Next. This is a sample initial message. I don't know whether you can read it or not, but I can read it for you. आपने डॉक्टर अनुराग यादव वीरोलॉजिस्ट आगरा को अपनी बीमारी के विषय में संपर्क किया है। कृपया अपना आधार कार्ड भेजें, अपना पता, अपनी उम्र, अपना वजन लिखें। अभी 25 मार्च 2020 से हमारे देश में पहली बार टेलीमेडिसिन यानी बिना देखे केवल ऑनलाइन बात करके रिपोर्ट देखकर इलाज करने को कानूनी मान्यता दे दी गई है और फीस लेने को कहा गया है। अतः आपको मेरी फीस के 600 रुपए ऐसे भेजने होंगे। अगले 7 दिन में कई बार संपर्क किया जा सकता है, which means I can demand fee again after 7 days. खांसी या बुखार के मरीज आजकल प्राइवेट डॉक्टरों को लेना मना है. So I tell them if you have cough or fever then don't consult me. आपको अपनी आजकल चल रही दवाइयां बतानी होंगी, आपकी अन्य बीमारियों के बारे में बताना होगा. आपको ये भी समझना चाहिए कि मरीज को देखे बिना राय देने में चूक हो सकती है, इसलिए उस पर तभी अमल करें यदि आप संतुष्ट हो. जो दवाई बताई जाएगी वो सही है या नहीं और कैसे लेनी है, कितनी बार लेनी है, कितने दिन लेनी है, अपने केमिस्ट से समझ लें. आवश्यकता पड़ने पर उसकी मुझसे फोन पर बात करा दें. ये दवा फौरी तौर पे आपसे बात सुनकर लिखी जा रही है, जैसे ही संभव हो आकर दिखाएं जिससे पक्का इलाज तय किया जा सके. इमरजेंसी की स्थिति में आप मेरे क्लिनिक पर नहीं आ सकते हो तो किसी नजदीकी हॉस्पिटल में जाएं. So this is all what we have been telling the patients already, but unofficially. Next. And this is a prescription that I issued today itself. I wrote the Aadhaar card number of the patient, wrote the symptoms, and mentioned that this is a teleconsult and patient is not seen. And I mentioned that the symptoms as explained by the patient on phone. Next. So finally, the take-home message. What the government wants, what we can do. The professional judgment of a doctor should be the guiding principle for all telemedicine consultation. This is what the government says. Next. A doctor is well positioned to decide whether technology-based consultation is sufficient or an in-person review is needed. This is what the guidelines say. You are given right to decide whether telemedicine is okay in this particular case. Next. In-person stalemate, in present stalemate, this is the only option. Today we are not seeing any patients, and the patients are suffering and they want to contact us. So let us all start telemedicine. Next. Charging fee is our right and is feasible. Next. Going by the restrictions on medicines that can be prescribed at present, telemedicine is best used on follow-up patients. Next. In future, government will come up with revised guidelines that they'll include more allowance will be given. Next. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Thank you all. Any queries are welcome.
Very nice. This is very, very comprehensive description. Very nicely summarized.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a,
What are the do nots? Do the
not.
guidelines say that don't do this?
Yeah, do not, sir. They don't prescribe the prohibited medicines.
Just a minute.
Like-
Bora, can you switch on your camera? Ganendra, you can also switch on your camera. Anurag.
Yeah. So I was just saying that you have to be careful in a similar way as you do in in-person consultation. You can be sued for everything that that can go wrong in a physical consultation. So do nots are same. The only thing is that prescription should be not of those medicines which are prohibited, like sugar extracts and narcotics. And I think the government has not mentioned about antibiotics, but they have not said antibiotics should not be prescribed. And the list says, etc., etc., etc. It does not mean that they have given a list. Only these medicines can be prescribed by telemedicine.
So there are as such no clear restrictions on something which should not be done or
Yes.
Cannot
The
do.
difference that I can see now after 25th March is that we can charge fee. Otherwise, also we were doing the same unofficially as charity. We are not charging, and nowadays we are not seeing any patients in OPD, so we can consult them, help them, and of course charge them.
The other question I would like to ask is, how safe is it to give your account number, bank account number?
You can give your Paytm number if you don't want to give account number, but all businessmen who are dealing with online payments, everyone, and you are also paying to PayPal, they also give your account number. You can
Like
have a
Paytm
account number for
or Google Pay is all right. You are
Yes.
paying through phone.
Google Pay also can give you into your account number or into a phone. Phone Pay or Google Pay, all these, they have option of account number or phone number.
Correct.
But you can on Paytm, and if you have 20,000 limit only, then fine, you can take that out, and let the refill be done by the next consultation.
So in that case, you should have a separate account, which is not your main bank account. It should be a subsidiary account which doesn't carry too much cash, and you don't do your main transactions through that account. Because all these things can be hacked. So it should not be your primary account, I suppose.
Hey, so if we are using, can I speak, sir?
Yeah, please.
So if we are using this phone pay or Paytm, so nobody can interfere with our bank account. The money that is being transferred comes to our Paytm wallet, and we just have to give our mobile number.
Correct.
That acts as a Paytm number.
Yes.
So he doesn't have an access to our account.
Yes. So that's what I was saying, that giving access to your bank account can be risky. That's my feeling. I mean, I'm not sure.
Yes, I have
whether
given
it
Paytm
works that
number
way.
also. Yes, I have given Paytm number also, and in the past also in OPD I have been accepting payments on Paytm, because some of the patients come with the idea that less expenses will be done. They have no money for investigation left, so they pay my fee by Paytm. Sitting in the OPD in the waiting room, they ask the attendant if I can pay by Paytm, and then the phone number is given to them, and they pay into Paytm account.
Anurag boss.
Regularly.
Anurag
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah, Bora.
I was just a bit late. Are you using your same mobile number, which is your mobile?
No, but
different mobile number.
dedicated WhatsApp number. This is a
Okay.
different WhatsApp number, and the
Okay.
patient contacts me
Number-
and approaches.
Number two, how you are telling your follow-up patients to contact you through that number?
No,
Your
they're
follow-up
contacting
code.
on the same. No, they're contacting on the same OPD number. The attendants take the phone, then
Okay.
transfer to me. I take all the patients. I talk to them and tell them to contact me on this particular WhatsApp number. I tell them send me your query on this WhatsApp number.
अच्छा,
Once they
ये
send that-
phone किसका है? Payal's iPhone. We still have a blank screen. Can you switch on your?
That's me, Arun. That's
Tiwari
me,
साहब
Arun.
अच्छा,
जी
सर
सर.
ऑन कर दीजिए अपना कैमरा ऑन कर
Arun,
Video
Dr.
डालिए।
Arun Tiwari.
तिवारी
अच्छा,
सर
video डालिए, video।
कैमरा ऑन करिए
So I have a
कपड़े
question.
ठीक है। I hope you are not in bed.
ये switch on your camera.
Can I
अच्छा
ask?
मैं आपको बताता हूँ what I'm doing is that I have a separate phone, of course, like Anurag says, for the WhatsApp thing, and I also have a separate account which is linked to the Paytm, to Google Pay, and also through a payment gateway. So this account is only for this kind of transaction, and it is not connected to my primary account. Welcome, Dr. Tiwari. So,
Hi.
This account remains only for these small transactions, and primary account is not touched. So
Yes, sir.
I think that works best. And the patient contacts the reception, and the reception gives the patient that number for making the WhatsApp communication, and also the account number, which is the Paytm number, to make the payment. So that way,
Sir, my all follow-ups contacts my compounders basically. They don't have my number, and through conferencing they talk to me. But how can I ask my follow-up to pay me if I am not physically seeing them?
ये काम तो reception करता है ना. That is what I'm saying.
And number two, I am also I'm in IMA helpline, and patient contact IMA helpline, and they phone me, and through conferencing I talk to patients basically and advise them.
How you will
can be
IMA helpline से तो आप नहीं charge कर सकते.
हाँ, उससे चार्ज नहीं कर सकते सर, लेकिन मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कि जो नए पेशेंट हैं, how they will contact you, how you will tell them कि you are giving teleconsultation.
नहीं, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ ना कि आप तिवारी साहब, आपका फोन फिर आपका कैमरा फिर ऑफ हो गया. Now, what I was saying is,
जी मेरा फोन
माम जी मैं एक कॉल पर हूँ, आपको कॉल बैक करता हूँ.
मेरा फोन आएगा, मेरा भाई रखा हुआ.
नहीं मैं see this job is done by the reception. The receptionist tells the patient that you will get a teleconsultation, and this is the WhatsApp number where you have to send your reports, and this is the pay channel through which you have to pay the fee. So you don't have to tell this to the patient. At least this is how I do.
Okay.
That my receptionist takes care of that. So I don't have to tell the patient to pay. And I think this is a decent way of doing things, because now people should realize, like Anurag says, that teleconsultation is the only way and they should pay. So I think this is a good thing, good way of doing things. And all of us can do that. Nitin, bolo.
Yes, sir. I have a question that in the present scenario, if we have given a teleconsultation and anything goes wrong, the patient condition deteriorates, and if he forces us to see in person or do a operative procedure, and what should be our next step?
That's a very good question. Anurag.
If I answer that, it is just like your physical consultation. If you have seen a patient and maybe you have advised operation, then you have to, of course, say, if the patient says yes, you have to, of course, do. If you have not advised operation, like you're buying time, you advise catheterization or you just write medicines, then it is just like a physical consultation. Patient cannot force you. If you have physically consulted him one day before and said that you, and for his pain, and on investigation it comes out to be a ureteric stone, how can he force you to operate? You can refer him to anywhere if you don't want to operate, or you start medicines.
Actually, in today's scenario, most people have understood that hospitals are closed because the hospitals are being closed by the government. They are forced closed. The people are reading about hospitals being sealed. So I think most people in this city, at least, Agra is a hotspot. We are among the worst in the whole country. I mean, everywhere else.
After Indore. After Indore.
Agra,
After Indore.
Or Indore, they are from Mumbai.
Indore is another one. So people in this city will not expect you to, will not demand you to see them physically or to operate. They will understand that hospitals are being forced closure if they see patients or if they operate. I think that is probably the reason why we are not getting pressure from patients to who insist on. There are some patients who call up to say ke dekhi lijiye, but most of the times you can explain to them that the clinic is closed and you can't see the patients. And I think this teleconsultation is the way to go forward. And like what Anurag says, he's doing what I have been doing. I think all of us can.
So the problem with teleconsultation is teleconsultation, those patients who are actually, I mean, computer savvy or phones, they can contact you. जो पढ़ा लिखा patient है, that can only contact you through teleconsultation. जो 50% 60% गांव का पेशेंट है, वो टेलीकंसल्ट, जैसे IMA हेल्पलाइन से मेरे पास रोज 2-3 फोन आते हैं, तो वो सब पढ़े लिखे मरीज हैं, पढ़े लिखे मरीज हैं जो IMA हेल्पलाइन को कांटेक्ट करते हैं और थ्रू कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग बात करते हैं. ऐसा अभी तक मेरे से पास कोई पेशेंट नहीं आया जो गांव का हो और प्रॉब्लम हो उसको और वो तो वो सारे पढ़े लिखे पेशेंट हैं. तो टेलीकंसल्टेशन इज ए थिंग फॉर मेट्रो सिटी बेसिक, या जो गूगल पर सर्च करते हैं या जो थोड़े से IIT सेक्टर से जुड़े हुए हैं पढ़े लिखे पेशेंट. नॉर्मली गांव का पेशेंट आपको अप्रोच ही नहीं कर पाता थ्रू.
But he'll approach his first line healthcare provider and that fellow will consult.
You can use this teleconsultation in follow up patient. Follow up conservative.
Follow up में ज्यादा हो रहा है. प्लस अगर कोई दूसरे शहर का या कस्बे का पेशेंट होता है तो उसको तो जनरली यही हम कहते हैं कि यू गो टू योर फैमिली फिजिशियन या लोकल RMP या डॉक्टर, उससे हमारी बात करा दो. तो वेरी ऑफन दैट वर्क्स. एंड समटाइम्स आई टेल द पेशेंट टू गो टू द केमिस्ट और वहां से केमिस्ट से बात करा दो.
What you are doing all the time.
Another question is soliciting patients through the advertisement is considered to be as a misconduct. Then how will the patient knows that we are doing teleconsultation?
नहीं, तो पेशेंट तो आपको अप्रोच कर रहा है आपको दिखाने के लिए. He wants to come and see you. It is you who tells the patient that I'm not available physically. I can only advise you on teleconsult.
Yes.
This thing was considered misconduct earlier also. MCI has given particular instructions. Even the board that you display on your clinic can be only 3x2 or something. You cannot give any advertisements. You can give advertisements only in two conditions: when you are changing your place of practice, or when you are adding
Yes.
some new facility in your clinic. Only then you can give
There are
advertisements.
strict rules about that, but who cares? So many doctors
Yeah, but
advertise in the newspaper.
rules were earlier also there. So the same rules
That is-
apply.
the guidelines are always there. Dr. Sharma, what is the status of teleconsulting in UK?
Yes, so at the moment, because of this corona crisis, everything is upside down. And we are not able to see any patients in the clinics. Of course, the referrals are coming all the time from their practitioners. So what we have decided that follow-up patients, we are going to use we are using already the telecommunication. So we are either ringing them or by the video. We
Okay.
are,
So this was legal earlier also? Was this legal earlier also?
sorry?
Was it
this
legal?
Teleconsultation in UK
Consultation was
legal.
legal?
Legal,
Official?
because what we do is as soon as we finish the call, that call is recorded or is printed in a letter form.
Okay.
The document. Now the new referral,
Documented. There's so much documentation in UK, of course.
yeah, then we get new referrals. And new referrals, of course, again we can't see these patients, so we ring them to find out exactly what is wrong with them and at least arrange their CT scan or ultrasound or whatever while they are waiting. They can have their CTs and ultrasound, and after 2 or 3 weeks we chase up the report of CT scans and things, and then whatever treatment necessary, then we give them. So we are calling these virtual clinics.
Okay.
One virtual clinic, I see about 15 patients. So that is between 4 hours. In about 4 hours, about 15 patients. I have to review all their results, and I have to contact the patient, arrange their investigations, and whatever necessary under the present circumstances.
I was talking to Monish, and he said that he is doing a lot of teleconsultations in Los Angeles. In fact, more teleconsultations. They are doing very few. They're working in University of Southern California, but again, like mostly cancers and only emergencies and semi-emergencies. So teleconsulting is everywhere in the world now.
Well, because of this last 2 or 3 months corona crisis, it is probably come into. It was in the low gear, but now it has become very important. All of us we are pushed really because
It's prime time now. Yes.
Because the patient, I mean, the pathologies are there, diseases are there, but the hospitals are closed. So we still need to provide the care. We still need to provide care. And as I say that if suppose our hospital is totally chock-a-block or something, then we have taken some help from the private hospitals who have got some spare beds and spare theatre timing. So anybody who needs urgent cancer operation, they can be operated in private. Of course, free of charge. The payment is given by the NHS.
Right. Sure, good.
So, nice to see you. I keep hearing
Thank you, sir. It's good that you managed to find time on an emergency duty day.
No, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, and to catch up with the team.
Yeah.
With all the friends. All the friends. It is so nice. And keep in touch. I think for next 2 or 3 months, you will probably have to do Euro Club meeting on like this.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have more of these meetings. We can have them more often now.
This problem is not going to go away. Another 3 months, 4 months. So please keep me informed. I will join you. I will join you.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, Saturday or Sunday will be the best. Weekdays are a bit difficult. Because I work in 3 hospitals. I have to rush around between the 3 hospitals. So,
right.
But Saturday, Sunday will be the best.
So every day is a Sunday now.
Now, yes. But,
I think we had a very good meeting. Very nice talk.
Thank you. Yes.
very good interaction.
I was just going to ask you,
Yeah,
I mean, like USI and they have all agreed with this system, this telemedicine.
Yeah. Telemedicine guidelines have been doing the rounds, and there have been a lot of guidelines doing rounds. Actually, it is so difficult to pick up what is required, what is not.
Yeah.
Too much. We have a flood of information on all these things nowadays.
I know, but everything.
Too much information on the net and on the social media nowadays. on
All the
everything.
priority is Corona. Coronavirus is the priority.
Main priority.
Priority, topmost priority is Corona.
Yeah, to be safe.
Medicine
Practice.
is so important. I always thought it will be either cardiology or stroke or something which will kill us. But now it looks like the respiratory medicine is the most important.
I always believed there has to be a super bug which will bring this kind of.
Yeah.
प्रलय आनी होती है जब we used to think that it can be melting of glaciers, it can be something global warming, but it can be earthquake. No, it had to be a super bug, and that super bug has arrived.
But now that reminds me, if any of you has not seen that movie, Contagion, you must, because it is so difficult to believe that 10 years earlier somebody created a movie
Earlier.
which it was 10 years earlier. 2011 it was released, so must have been made in 2010, and they have, it is almost like a documentary of what is happening now. Almost everything is just the same as what is happening. It is unbelievable. All of you must see that movie if you have not seen it already. Contagion.
So that's why one
Amazon Prime, and you can get a free 1 month trial subscription. So go ahead and do it.
यार उसकी वेब सीरीज खत्म नहीं हो रही अभी तक की वेब सीरीज खत्म नहीं हो पा रही अभी तक
एक वेब सीरीज तो कोई भी शुरू कर दो तो खत्म नहीं होती
वेब सीरीज में एक तरफ आपको लगता है जैसे फैमिली मैन है एक वेब सीरीज उसमें अमेजोन में और एक स्पेशल ओप्स करके आई है कि एवरीबॉडी इज डूइंग फॉर द कंट्री और कितना रॉ वाले हैं वो बहुत वो करते हैं और यदि आप दूसरा देखो एक इनसाइड एज करके है उसमें होल क्रिकेट गेम इज
stop recording now.
वो
Stop recording.
yeah